योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् यं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञा भक्तिविनीतयः दीप्तिश्चापि व्रताः सत्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। We'll start from 13. वैराजव्यष्टिरूपं जगदखिलमिदं नामरूपात्मकं स्यात् अन्तस्थप्राणमुख्यात् प्रचलति च पुनर्वेत्ति सर्वान् पदार्थान् नायं कर्ता न भोक्ता सवितृवदितियो ज्ञानविज्ञानपूर्णः साक्षादित्थं विजानन् व्यवहरति परात्मानुसन्धानपूर्वम् नैर्वेद्यं ज्ञानगर्भं द्विविधमभिहितं तत्र वैराग्यमाद्यम् प्रायो दुःखावलोकात् भवति गृहसुहृत् पुत्रवित्तैषणादेः अन्यज्ञानोपदेशात् यदुदितविषये वान्तवद्धेयता स्यात् प्रव्रज्यापि द्विधा स्यात् नियमितमनसां देहतो गेहतश्च यः कश्चित् सौख्यहेतोः त्रिजगति यतते नैव दुःखस्य हेतोः देहे हन्ता तदुत्था स्वविषयममता चेति दुःखास्पदे द्वे जानन् रोगाभिघाताद्यनुभवति यतो नित्यदेहात्मबुद्धिः भार्या पुत्रार्थनाशे विपदमथ परामेति नारातिनाशे तिष्ठन् गेहे गृहेशोऽप्यतिथिरिव निजं धाम गन्तुं चिकीर्षुः
गेहस्थं दुःखसौख्यम् न भजति सहसा निर्ममत्वाभिमानः
आयात्रायास्यतीदम् जलदपटलवत् यात्र्यास्यत्यवश्यम् देहाद्यं सर्वमेव प्रविदितविषयो यच्च तिष्ठत्ययत्नः शक्त्या निर्मोकतस्वात् बहिरहिरिव यः प्रव्रजन् स्वीयगेहात् छायाहं मार्गद्रुमोत्थाम् पथिकैव मनाक् संश्रये देहसंस्थाम् क्षुत्पर्याप्तं तरुभ्यः पतितफलमयं प्रार्थयेत् भैक्षमन्नम् स्वात्मा रामं प्रवेष्टुम् स खलु सुखमयं प्रव्रजेत् देहतोऽपि। Okay, now we chant the new verse 18th. कामो बुद्धा उदेति
कामो बुद्धा उदेति कामो बुद्धा उदेति
प्रथममिह मनस्युद्दिशत्यर्थजातम् प्रथममिह मनस्युद्दिशत्यर्थजातम् प्रथममिह मनस्युद्दिशत्यर्थजातम् तद्गृह्णातीन्द्रियास्यैः 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 तदनधिगमतः 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 क्रोध आविर्भवेच्च
क्रोध आविर्भवेच्च
क्रोध आविर्भवेच्च प्राप्तावर्थस्य संरक्षणमतिः
प्राप्तावर्थस्य संरक्षणमतिः प्राप्तावर्थस्य संरक्षणमतिः
उदितो लोभयेतत्रयं स्यात्
उदितो लोभयेदत्रयं स्यात् उदितो लोभयेदत्रयं स्यात्
सर्वेषां पातहेतुः
सर्वेषां पातहेतुः सर्वेषां पातहेतुः
तदिह मतिमता
तदिह मतिमता तदिह मतिमता
त्याज्यमध्यात्मयोगात्
त्याज्यमध्यात्मयोगात् त्याज्यमध्यात्मयोगात्.
So this is a beautiful verse which basically talks about the psychology of desire. In fact, this is a very interesting topic which people keep studying in modern psychology. So what is desire, how to control desire and so on and so forth is one of the very interesting hot topics which is being studied by various people. And this verse beautifully portrays the entire psychology of desire. So let us try to understand what it states. Kamo buddha udeti. Udeti means arises. Kamo buddha udeti prathamam. Prathamam is first. Now there is a very interesting discussion which goes on in modern psychology as to how the desire itself got evolved. So as people keep wondering how the universe got evolved, people also keep thinking of how the desire itself got evolved. In fact, the level to which one can desire and the objects to which one can orient desire depends on the being which can desire. So a mosquito can desire, a cat can desire, a monkey can desire, and so too human can also desire. Now people keep talking about how the desire itself got evolved from amoeba to various other things. So there is a desire for coronavirus also to cling to you. So there are various things which one can think of as desire. So different objects keep desiring different things. Anyway, so now let us assume that the desire arises in every being is a given fact. Okay. Let us not worry about how it evolved, and it has evolved to a certain state, and the human being being what he is, so he has a certain capacity to exercise a control over desire also, which other beings cannot do. Okay, so we will come to all that. So first he says Kamo buddha udeti. Udeti means it arises. And then what does it do? Manasyuddishatyarthajatam. Arthajatam manasi uddishati. Uddishati means it keeps that as target in your own mind. Manasi. So a desire to acquire certain thing. So is something which arises. A desire to change something. So arises in your mind. And whatever is the means to achieve that, So it presents those things also and makes you target that. Okay, the means by which you will be able to accomplish this desire is presented by it, and you will be after it. Okay, manasyuddishatyartha jatam. This uddesha and videya, they are interesting things in Sanskrit. Okay, uddishati, so it presents itself as the target for you to achieve. Uddishatyartha jatam. Then tadgrinhat indriyasyi. Tadgrinhati means, so this person clings to that. Okay, that means, so how am I to achieve this? How am I to fulfill this? So he is after it. Grinhati means he grabs it. Okay, tightly. Tadgrinhati. How? Indriyasyi. So here we should just take Indriyasyi as through various sense organs, mukhaihi. Okay, so it should be taken in that sense. Indriyasyi tadanadhigamataha. Okay. So adhigamaha means praptihi. Anadhigamaha apraptihi. Okay, if you do not get that. Okay, so if the target doesn't get fulfilled. Tadanadhigamataha krodha avirbhavet. Krodha avirbhavet. Then anger rises in. This anger sometimes may be against you itself. Many a times it will be upon others whom you feel have been responsible for not achieving what you wanted to achieve. Okay, so the hurdles in between. Krodha avirbhavet. Krodha avirbhavet, anger arises. Krodha avirbhavet. Okay, now the next step he says, praptavarthasya samrakshanamatihi. Praptau. So praptau means whatever was the uddesha. So you followed, you pursued that, and you were able to achieve what you wanted to achieve. The desire got fulfilled. Arthasya samrakshanamatihi uditaha. So this praptau should be taken as yoga. Now the next step is kshema. Okay, so apraptasya praptihi yogaha, praptasya rakshanam kshemaha. Okay, so the samrakshanamatihi. Okay. So you wanted to get to this position in this company, so you got. So then everything got enhanced. So you want to preserve this house, you want to preserve this position, you want to preserve that salary and whatever. So you want to keep accruing, and there is some other thing which you keep as the next target. Samrakshanamati ruditaha. So now he says lobhaha. So this is declared as lobhaha etat. So greed. So greed to save more, greed to earn more, greed to possess what you possess, okay, greed to enhance your happiness by enhancing other things around you. Okay, so all these things starts rising. Arthasya samrakshanamati ruditaha. So why do you want to save money? I want to get a bigger house. So why do you want to save money? I want to get a bigger car. So why do you want to save money? There are various things. So to enhance the affluence, okay, so whatever you have to acquire, enhance the position, enhance your status, social status. So all that. So lobhaha etatrayam syad. So these three things he says, sarvesham patahetuhu. Patahetuhu means, so the cause for making this fellow fall. Okay, so pata hetuhu. Hetuhu means reason. Patanam is basically falling. Sarvesham pata hetuhu Tadiha. So here this tat refers to all the three put together. Okay. Kamaha, Krodhaha, Lobhaha. Tadiha matimata. Matimata tyajyam. See, tyajyam means, matimata means if you are an intelligent person. Okay. Matimata, matiman, buddhiman. Okay. Matimata tyajyam adhyatma yogat. How is it possible? So there he says, the phrase is adhyatma yogat. So adhyatma yoga is a very interesting phrase. Yoga ha, you just take as chittavritti nirodha. You should just take that. So I'll come back to this. But adhyatma yoga means by exercising a full control over this adhyatma. This is one way. So here atma, you can just take it as mind. Okay. So you can simply take it as mind at one level. So adhyatma yoga means, so by exercising an absolute control over your mind, you will be able to drop. Okay, this is one meaning. The other thing is, adhyatma yoga means by trying to understand the true nature of yourself and trying to absolutely engage with him. So this Atma Rama, which he was trying to say in the previous verse, so that is also adhyatma yoga. Okay, by associating yourself. Okay, so with that Brahma Chintanam, so then also you will be able to drive these fellows away. Okay, so Pata Hetuhu, you will be drive them away. Like, let us spend a few minutes to dwell upon other similar verses which talk about this Kama and so on and so forth, even in Bhagavad Gita. In fact, normally what people think is, so a desire arises and by fulfilling the desire, I become a happy person. No doubt. Okay, at least you save yourself from being an unhappy person. Okay, so momentarily you feel definitely happy. So desire, fulfilling desire is source of happiness. Okay, it may not be lasting happiness, but it is definitely a source of at least temporarily feeling happy. Okay, fine. But what we human beings want to achieve is lasting happiness. Okay, not temporary happiness. Okay. So lasting devices. So you want to invest in a car which does not give you trouble for the next 5 years, 10 years. You want to invest in a house, you want to get a job, so which will make you feel secured for the rest of your life and so on. So this is what one wants. But this Manusmriti, when talking about this Kama, it has a very interesting verse. Najatu kamah kamanam upabhogena shamyati havisha krishna vartameva bhuya eva abhivardhate. This occurs in Manusmriti. So you think that by fulfilling desires, so you will be able to drive this desire away and thereby you will become happy. But then this Smriti, Manusmriti says, Najatu kamah kamanam upabhogena. Upabhogena, by enjoying kamaha na shamyati. So suppose you have a fire somewhere, you pour water on that, shamyati, over. Okay, no more it arises. Is it true with kama? So you desire for something and you get something. So are you able to suppress this desire or eradicate the desire? So Manu says, no, that doesn't happen. Okay. What really happens is what he says. Habisha Krishna Vartmeva Bhuyayeva Bhivardhate. Krishna Vartma refers to fire. So Krishna Vartma means one who creates darkness, okay, black patches along the path he traverses. Okay. Krishna Vartma Havisha. Havisha means by offering. Okay. So by making offering unto the fire, like ghee, etc., it only grows further and it does not get satiated. So this is what he says. Najatu kamah kamanam upabhogena shamyati havisha krishnavartameva bhuyayeva abhivardhate. Okay? Bhuyaha abhivardhate. It only increases. That is what he says. It may not be in the same thing. It may be on the same thing. So every year, so suppose you get Alfonso. Some good quality Alfonso it comes. So but Alfonso nowadays, I mean, if you cut some 6 fruits, 3 of them seem to be bad. So externally they look okay, but internally there is some problem. Anyway, so this every year, so if you see mango, you want to have it. So there is nothing wrong. I am just saying. So this is what we have to understand from what Manu has said. Okay. So Havisha Krishna Vartameva Bhuyeva Abhivardhati. It only keeps increasing. But people who have deeply contemplated about so this kama have reflected and said that it may not be easy for you to eradicate or satiate this fellow by trying to fulfill this fellow. So after all, by fulfilling you feel happy, by happy, I mean you become satisfied. Ultimately gaining some satisfaction. Okay. So but is this the only means to gain satisfaction or are there other means? So that is what they have tried to address here. Okay. So this is a process, he says. So if that doesn't get fulfilled, then you become angry with somebody who has been stopping it, or in your conception who has been responsible for not achieving that. So this is what happens. That is what he says, Krodha Avirbhavit. But then people who have really pondered over, so they have very clearly understood, and that is more or less the conclusion even that has been arrived by these modern psychologists who have understood the way it functions, etc., etc. So what they have concluded is essentially what our people have stated in the scriptures. So if you want to become happy, I want to change my car, I want to change my job, I want to change my house, I want to change where I live, so on. So I want to change my spouse. So all that keeps happening. Okay. But then, is this the way to get happiness, or is there some other way? So people have pondered over this question and they have come to a clear understanding that happiness is not really achieved by changing the environment. It is best achieved, okay, by trying to change yourself, or it is achieved only by trying to change yourself rather than changing the environment, car, house, job, boss, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this you have to change. How do you change? That is what is stated. Adhyatma Yogat. Adhyatma Yogat essentially means by exercising an absolute control over your mind so that kama doesn't drive you. Okay, so you get lasting happiness either by channelizing your desire, or by partially suppressing your desire, or trying to totally eradicate desire on certain things. These are the only ways. Okay, so this is what has been essentially stated, Adhyatma Yogat. In fact, this has been beautifully described in even Bhagavad Gita, if you look. So in fact, there are 2-3 places. So in second chapter, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha Sangasteshu Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha Kamat Krodho Bhijayate Krodhat Bhavati, and so on and so forth. We have in second chapter that you can listen to, you can read to other lectures also. There is the same question which has been posed slightly differently and answered. Okay, the same theme in the third chapter also, I think. Athakena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichannapi varshneya baladiva niyojitaha. So it is fact, that is what is meant by uddishati arthajatam. It presents and you get trapped. Okay. So the desire presence, okay, it is a given fact. Okay, the mosquito bites is a given fact. So you don't need to worry, what is the source, how can I eradicate? It may be possible, may not be possible. All that you can do is at least you can keep something around you so that it doesn't bite you. So here, this desire has arisen. So how do we handle? So there he says, Papam charati purushaha. In fact, that is what is referred to here. Sarvesham pata hetuhu. If you let the desire control you, then you'll end up doing all sorts of things and you will be a source of nuisance for the society. Okay? So that is what he is cautioning. Sarvesham pata hetuhu. Tadiha matimata tyajyam. So the question that Arjuna poses is, Kena prayuktasan papam charati. Okay, driven by whom, impelled by whom this fellow commits sins? The answer Krishna gives is, Kamayesha krodhayesha rajo guna samudbhavaha mahashano mahapapma vidhyena miha vairinam. It's a beautiful advice that he gives. Kamayesha krodhayesha. These two things are responsible. And how do they get generated? So it has an abstract way of stating Rajo Guna Samudbhavaha. There are two ways to understand the phrase Rajo Guna Samudbhavaha. Anyway, let us not get into the details of that now. Rajo Guna Samudbhavaha, it arises. So further he describes Mahashano Mahapapma. Mahashanaha. This is what Manu was saying. So you can't satiate this fellow. You keep on feeding, he will keep on eating. Okay? Mahashanaha. Not only that, he will also put you into some trouble. Mahapapma. Make you commit sins. If you let it flow the way it likes. Mahashano Mahapapma Vidhyena miha vairinam. This is a beautiful advice. Yenam vairinam vidhi. So vairinam vidhi means try to keep him at a distance like an enemy. Be careful. Be watchful. The Pakistan may be vairi. So that doesn't mean that you have to just go and bomb and finish them. You have to be careful. Okay? Vidhyena miha vairinam. Similarly, so you have to just see to it that this fellow does not overpower you. Vidhyena miha vairinam. In fact, the verses actually go on in Bhagavad Gita, and then finally, so what is interesting to note is what has been captured here by Shankaracharya in one verse. So what has been captured there in many verses, in 2-3 places, have been put in a form of a capsule in this verse. So in fact, he further moves on. So dhumena vriyate vannihi Yatha darsho malena cha yatholbena vrto garbha tatha tenedamavritam. I'll just read those verses. So you can read Bhagavad Gita and try to understand. Avritam jnanametena jnanino nityavairina kamarupena kaunteya dushpurena analena cha. See, dushpurena analena. See, so anala means fire. Navidyate alam buddhihi yasya saha. So this is how the word anala is to be understood. Okay? Navidyate alam buddhihi. Enough. That kind of a thought does not arise for fire. Yasya saha. Dushpurena analena cha. Indriyani mano buddhihi asyadhisthana muchyate. Where does he ask? That is what he is saying. Tad grinhati indriyasyaihi. Okay? Indriyani mano buddhi asya adhisthana muchyate. This fellow goes and occupies these places. Etair vimohayatyeshaha jnanamavritya dehinam tasmat tvamindriyanyado niyamya bharatarshabha papmanam prajahihyenam jnana vijnananasanam indriyani paranyahuhu indriyebhyah param manaha manasastu para buddhihi buddhe yo buddheh paratastu saha. Now he says evam buddheh param buddhva samstabhyatmanamatmana. So that is what is stated here. Adhyatma yogat. Understand? Evam buddhef param buddhva. So that both meanings, that's why I said Adhyatma yogat can be understood in two different ways. Buddhef param means the prerayita. So this Atman, buddhva. Buddhva means having understood him to be the source of ultimate happiness. Okay? Which was shielded by other cravings. The moment cravings got terminated, you return back to yourself and enjoy your own happiness. So this philosophy, having understood this, that you are an embodiment of happiness by yourself. Therefore, you are Atma Rama. Evam buddhef param buddhva. But the other step is samstabhyatmanamatmana. So buddhef param buddhva, to understand that also samstabhyatmanamatmana is required. So samstabhya means having control over. Here the word atma means manaha. Samstabhya means having control over your mind. That is what it means. Samstabhya atmanam atmana. Atmana means by the willpower that you have been blessed with, may you exercise control over this mind and thereby achieve this. Samstabhyatmanam atmana jahi shatrum mahabaho. Okay. Kamarupam durasadam. So may you try to beat this kama. Okay. So the idea here is, so all these three are to be treated as enemies and you have to be extremely careful. In fact, there is a very interesting verse which I also happen to see in Manusmriti, which talks about the ways by which this krodha gets transformed. Okay. Krodha parushyam. See, parushyam. See, there is an interesting verse. So it is good to know. Paishunyam sahasam drohaha. Repeat. Paishunyam sahasam drohaha.
Paishunyam sahasam drohaha.
Irshya suyartha dushanam.
Irshya suyartha dushanam. Irshya suyartha dushanam.
Vagdandajancha parushyam.
Vagdandajancha parushyam. Vagdandajancha parushyam.
Krodhanopi gunoshtakaha.
Krodhanopi gunoshtakaha.
Gunoshtakaha. Krodhanopi gunoshtakaha. See, this Manu brilliantly brings out what are the effects of krodha that you can see around you. So when kama gets defeated, turns into krodha. Okay, so it may be good for us to understand, so that we will be able to see how this krodha got manifested in various ways when we deal with the world. Okay, so that we will be able to control over it. So he says, krodhanaha api gunoshtakaha. So these are 8 things which the krodha may generate. Paishunyam. Paishunyam is Pishunasya bhavaha. Paishunyam. Paishunyam essentially means this tail carrying. Okay. So it is technically defined as Parasmai Pararandha Prakatikaranam. Okay? Parasmai Pararandha Prakatikaranam. So you go and tell something bad about this fellow into the ears of the other fellow. Okay? Parasmai Pararandha Prakatikaranam Paishunyam. So this has to be avoided. So if you have krodha, so this may result in that. So do you know about this fellow? Okay? So if you can't tell on face, you go and tell various people. Sahasam. Sahasam means without thinking, you will immediately do something. Okay? You may blurt out something, you may throw something, you may do something. Okay? So it will arrest you from taking some decisions based on discrimination. You will indiscriminately do something. Sahasam, drohaha. Okay? So if you cannot throw something on the other fellow, or at least words, so then you will have a certain bhavana. Okay, one day I will finish him. Okay? The krodha may turn into droha. Okay? Or I will try to stab him from the back. Irshya, this is another thing. Okay, another facet. Irshya, how do you define?
That is the growth of the others. If we
Irshya, Asuya, these two things may look very similar, but they are slightly different things. Okay? Paragunoৎkarsha asahishnutvam is Irshya. Paragunoৎkarsha asahishnutvam. Okay? Asuya is one more level of Irshya. Okay? Paraguneshu doshavishkaranam. Okay? So that is Asuya. This is how they try to draw a distinction between Irshya and Asuya. Irshya, Asuya, Arthadushanam. Arthadushanam means good things may look bad things once you have krodha. Okay, all things will happen. Vagdandajancha parushyam. Obviously, this is the most easiest thing that you can see all around. So they will be very, very harsh in dealing with others. Okay, that internal tranquility, if it is gone, then the words will come out like fire. Okay, so all these things are krodhana. So this is how he says. That is why. So we have to avoid these fellows. Okay, treat them like a vairi and finish them. So now, how do we go about? There is a very, very interesting set of verses in Mahabharata that I happened to see. And in Mahabharata, so this was quite thrilling to note. So I will read those verses because you may not get opportunity to hear those verses. Bhagavad Gita verses you can read, understand, there will be so many lectures on that. There is something called Kama Gita. Okay, in Mahabharata, and this happens to occur in Anushasana Parva. So this is basically a narration between Shri Krishna and Yudhishthira. Okay, so in that context, this Krishna so quotes a few verses and then finally tells something to Yudhishthira. So it is worth reading those verses and try to see how we will be able to handle the kama that is the source of various other things. Okay, this is also a beautiful psychology. I mean, the way it has been presented, I was quite thrilled to see these verses. So let us read those verses. So I will tell you repeat first, then at least one or two verses you repeat, then I will read the rest. Naham shakyo nupayena.
Naham
Shakyo nupayena. Naham shakyo nupayena. Hantum bhutena kenachit.
Hantum bhutena kenachit. Hantum bhutena kenachit.
Yomam prayatate hantum.
Yomam prayatate hantum. Yomam prayatate hantum.
Nyatva praharane balam.
Nyatva praharane balam.
Balam.
Nyatva praharane balam.
Tasya tasmin praharane.
Tasya tasmin praharane. Tasya tasmin praharane.
Punah pradurbhavamyaham.
Punah pradurbhavamyaham. Punah pradurbhavamyaham.
I will pause here before I read certain other things to explain what is being stated. So when we talk of desire, so we just said that is something which we have to just understand as something which arises. Okay, arises. We can go to a deeper level, then you can go to some vasana and so on and so forth. Why this fellow has desire in good thing, why this fellow has desire in bad thing. Both of them are the sons of the same fellows. Both of them are twins. There are various other things which are being discussed. Okay. Now, setting all those aside. Okay. So, as was stated either in Bhagavad Gita or by Shankara here in this verse. So it is this Adhyatma Yoga that is to be achieved. Okay? Adhyatma Yogena, you try to handle them. Okay? So this is what was stated. Shaknoti. In fact, there is another verse, no? Shaknoti hiva yasodhum praksharira vimokshanat kamakrodhodbhavam vegam sayuktaha sasukhi naraha. In fact, that is another verse in Bhagavad Gita. See, Sodhum means the one who is able to handle them well. Shaknoti haiva yasodhum. Vegam means there is an impulse that is being generated by Kama and Krodha. That is what we said. It manifests in various ways depending upon whom you have to deal with. Shaknoti haiva yasodhum praksharira vimokshanat kamakrodhodbhavam vegam. Vegam means the force that is generated in you. Okay. In fact, I remember, see, when your desire slightly gets disturbed. So I'm just recalling a certain instance. A few years back, so I was my own family member who was something, I mean, he went to and stayed in some village. Okay. So I was trying to help him by all ways and trying to support. So that, I mean, that person in the village, he has to stay. Some ancestral house or whatever it is. But when I went there to visit once, our own close relative, but he cannot control this. That is why I am saying this. I am just reminded when I thought of this verse. He is affectionate to me, and obviously, I mean, when you get some favor through somebody, you will be all the more affectionate and all that. But then there was some slight difference of opinion between his thought process and my thought process about something. Then he suddenly started blurting. You don't know what is, you are nonsense fool, all that. So do you think that I will be, and so on and so forth. All that happened for a long time. So this is what I am saying. Shaknoti haiva yasodhum. Okay. So there is a small, see, that is why people always try to change the environment. That is not possible. You have to change yourself and see to it that you exercise a control over your tongue. Okay, then later, I mean, you will repent. Okay, so what is the point? So that is why Krishna cautions Shaknoti hiva yasodhum praksharira vimokshanat kamakrodhodbhavam vegam. Sayuktaha sasukhi naraha. Sayuktaha sasukhi. So that is what everybody wants. I want to be happy. Okay. Sayuktaha sasukhi naraha. Now, this set of verses in Mahabharata beautifully analyzes the psychology behind desire. Okay. So how you can try to orient yourself so that, I mean, you become a master of that. So let us read this. So this is a very interesting verse. Naham shakyaha anupayena hantum bhutena kenachit. This is a proclamation. This is the thesis which Kama itself presents. It says, Anupayena means without a means. Upaya is means by which you achieve something. What you achieve is what is called upeya. The target kept is upeya. The means that you adopt is upaya. Naham shakyaha anupayena hantum bhutena kenachit. Okay. So hantum means to finish me. So the desire says, it is impossible for anybody to finish me without trying to find a suitable means. Okay. So without means, obviously to finish anything we need some means, right? So this is a very general statement as if, okay, fine. Naham shakyo anupayena antum bhutena kenachit. Okay. So bhutena kenachit, by any being, it is impossible, okay, to kill me. Yomam prayatate hantum. Assume that somebody is determined. So he wants to kill me. Okay. Yomam prayatate hantum. Nyatvaha praharane balam. Praharane means, so he uses some tool. Okay. So knowing that this tool has enough strength to beat me and finish me, so he is adopting. Okay. That means. Whatever it is, I mean, it is an abstract way you have to understand and appreciate the verses. He will elaborate later. Praharane balam. Now he says, the desire says. So who was to be finished? Desire was to be finished, right? So by resorting to something. So now the desire says. So though he tried to finish me, I have entered without his knowledge into that thing which he has chosen to finish me. You understand? Tasya tasmin praharane punah pradur bhavamyaham. So I get once again born in that desire. Okay, the means by which he tried to finish me. So then he further goes on. It's a very interesting set of 3-4 verses. I'll quickly read that. Yomam prayatate hantum yajnaihi vividha dakshinaihi jangameshviva dharmatma punah pradurbhavamyaham yomam prayatate hantum nityam veda vedanta sadhanaihi sthavareshviva bhutatma tasya pradurbhavamyaham yomam prayatate hantum dhritya satyaparakramaha bhave bhavami tasyaham sachamam navabudhyate. See, dhritya means essentially determination. Okay. Dhritya satyaparakramaha. Okay. Satyaparakramaha means, see, satyam eva parakramaha yasya. Means he says something and I will try to achieve. Okay. Satyaparakramaha, one who is absolutely determined and who has the strength to achieve what he wants to achieve. If that fellow thinks that I will try to finish this desire, then he says, the desire says, bhave bhavami tasyaham. Now, there was a determination. That also requires some desire. Understand? a desire to determine that I am going to finish. Tasya bhave bhavami tasyaham sachamam navabudhyate. That fellow does not know that I am present. Yomam prayatate hantum mokshamasthaya panditaha tasya moksharadisthasya nrityami cha hasami cha. Okay, there is no other desire for him with reference to the material world. So only desire is moksha. Okay. See, mokshamasthaya panditaha. So he has read all this Vedanta. Okay. So he has taken sannyasa, gehataha prasthitaha. Assume, okay. So I am going to be relieved, moksha. So now this mokshamasthaya, this scholar panditaha. So now this desire says, tasya moksharatithasya nrityami cha hasami cha. So this is a sarcastic statement. So that moksha, so I, having entered in the form of desire for moksha, I am just witnessing him and I am now laughing at him. Okay, so this is how it presents. Now, finally, the statement is avadhyas sarva bhutanam ahamekas sanatanaha. See, this is a very, very interesting statement. Okay, avadhyas sarva bhutanam. Okay, so at no point of time can anybody say that I have finished the desire. Sarva bhutanam aham avadhyaha. And it also makes a proclamation Ahameka Sanatanaha. I am the only person who is eternal. Okay? So this is a very, very interesting set of verses which we find declared as Kama Geetam. So in the next or successive class, we will see something called a similar Geetam by Annadevata. There are some very, very interesting deep philosophical thoughts, so which are being presented in this. So one has to just try to understand and appreciate. So finally, what is being said is, after saying this Kama Geetam, Tasmat Tvamavitam Kamam Yajnir Vividhadakshinaihi Dharmam Kuru Maharaja Tatrate Sabhavishyati. So what is the message? So what is the takeaway from here? Okay, in modern terminology. The takeaway is, assume that you cannot finish desire. What can you do? You can only reorient your desire. Okay? So from one to some other thing. Where do you reorient? Is something which has to be learned from Shastras, which has to be learned from the experience of the seers. Okay? So we can't just take our own decisions. Tasmat Shastram Pramanante Karya Karya Vyavasthitau. Okay? So what is to be done and what is not to be done? Obviously, anything that is done is obviously driven by desire. Without a certain impulse from within, obviously nobody will not go. And the impulse is generated by desire. That is what is stated, Kamo Buddha Udeti. Okay? Prathamamiha manasyuddhishatyartha jatam. So where does it conclude now? He says, Tasmat tvamapi tam kamam yajnair vividhadakshinaihi dharmam kuru maharaja. Hey Maharaja, dharmam kuru is what Krishna says. So you engage yourself in dharmic activities. Okay? So reorient your desire. If you feel that I have to go from this Honda City to BMW, you think whether you have to go, or you can divert that few lakhs of rupees to something else. You have to think. If you feel that I have to change this flooring, can I live with this flooring or not? You better think. Can this money which is going to be invested in this can be redirected to something else? So this is how one has to think. So that is what he is saying. Yajnaihi vividhadakshinaihi is just an example. In fact, yajnaihi means this yajna should not be understood simply as some sacrifice like Somayaga, this ishti, that ishti. All things are yajnas. Okay, Bhuta yajna, Manushya yajna. So all these are yajnas. Manushya yajna is serving the society, is Manushya yajna. So may you reorient your desire towards certain things. In fact, there is a very beautiful verse. I am just now reminded of that. See, so when we are blessed with certain resources, so these resources do not take our permission to stay with us or to leave us. Okay? So there is a beautiful observation which is made by Bhartrhari. So he says, Avashyam yataraha chirataramushitva vivishayaha viyoge ko bhedaha Tyajati na jano yat swayamamunu Vrajanta swatantriyat atula paritapaya manasaha swayam tyakta hyete Shamasukham anantam vidadhati Anantam shamasukham vidadhati. This is how he concludes. Avashyam yataraha. Whatever you possess, anyway is going to go away. Avashyam yataraha. Even if you have been enjoying them for a long time. Chirataramushitvapi vishayaha viyoge ko bhedaha. Understand that anyway it is going to be separated from me. But if you voluntarily let it part away from you, then it leads you to eternal happiness. If they decide to go away from you, then it leads you into a certain despondent state. See. Tyajati na jano yat swayamamun. So that is where the avidya comes. Adhyatma yoga is essential. Tyajati, he does not want to part away. Yat svayamamunu vrajanta swatantriyat atula paritapaya manasaha. See, it leaves you in a severely despondent state. Swayam tyakta hyede. If you do voluntarily, so share this. Shama sukhamanantam vidadhati gives you an immense sense of satisfaction. Anantam means something which you will be able to cherish forever. Okay, so that is what it essentially means. See, any other thing that you purchase for your own enjoyment can be cherished only for some while, not for a long time. Okay, but if you have really done some good deeds, you can keep cherishing it forever till you are in the deathbed. Okay, so this is what he basically tries to convey here. Okay, therefore tasmat tvamapi tam kamam. In fact, this is what is being conveyed in a slightly different form. Dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarishabha. Okay, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, so I am in this form, I am in this form, I am in this form. Which form of kama are you in? Dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarishabha. Okay, so that is a very beautiful statement. So what we find in this verse is essentially a description of the psychology of kama. So I would not say the evolution of kama. In some sense, I mean the effects of kama are being described. So though not the origin of kama, but how to handle them is also something which is beautifully presented in this verse. So now let us read this. Kamo buddha udeti prathamamiha manas yuddishatyarthajatam tadgrinhat indriyasyihi tadanadhigamataha krodha virbhavecha praptavarthasya samrakshanamadiruditaha lobha etatrayam syat sarvesham patahetuhu tadiha matimata tyajyamadhyatmayogat. This phrase matimata is also a very interesting usage. Nobody wants to accept that he is a fool, right? Forget about fool, even ignorance nobody wants to brook. So anyway, there is a feeling that I am a bright person, I am intelligent person, my thinking is all logical and so on and so forth. So if you believe so, you better see whether it is true. Therefore, is a matimata. If you consider yourself as an intelligent being, so then think about it. Okay, so think about it is what he is trying to say. Tadiha matimata tyajyam adhyatma yogat. The only way is adhyatma yogat. These are other beautiful things are integrated. See, yogaha chitta vritti nirodhaha. Ultimately, that's where it amounts to. Okay, so whether this phrase adhyatma yoga, what he says here, or the phrase as we understand from the Bhagavad Gita, buddhev param buddhva samstabhyatmanam atmana. So atmana atmanam samstabhya. It can't be, the subject and object is one and the same. The atman, though it is used, as I was telling earlier, is used in several senses. We have to understand. Jahi shatrum mahabaho kamarupam duras. They also acknowledged that it is not something which can be easily won over. That is why durasadam. Okay, so we'll stop here. Om sarve visukhinas santu sarve santu niramayaha sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavet. Om